What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Darius Dotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. So today we're going to talk about how to just go, to just take the damn action that needs to be taken. We all know how easy it is to procrastinate on something, to be overwhelmed by something and how much work it's going to take. It's easy to feel lost, and this will stop us from taking action. But we got dreams and goals to achieve, so not taking action is really holding us back, even when we know we need to be taking that action. So this is going to be a real straight to the point episode, and one we all need to hear, so let's get it. And I've talked about this concept before of living your life in headlights. And what I mean by this is taking the actions you need to take to have success and breaking it down like this. So we got to get shit done, right? We have to. And the way to get shit done is to stop worrying and projecting yourself into the future and thinking about all the things you have to do on your way down the road. Because on this journey, you're doing exactly that. Going down this road and trying to do all the things you have to do to achieve whatever that thing is you're striving for. And when you start thinking about your goals 10 years from now, it's a long ass ways away. And what happens is once you start thinking about your goals that far away, it starts to get demotivating. Why? Because it feels so far away. So if you say you want to be making, let's say, $500,000 a year in 10 years from now and have 15 employees working for you, and right now you only have $8,000 in your bank account and you don't even have a company yet, that can seem really big and impossible to accomplish if you're thinking that far ahead. Easily demotivating. But if you look at it backwards and live your life in headlights, like I'm going to explain in just a second, it'll be so beneficial for you because you won't have paralysis by analysis. Way too often we overthink everything, all the things we have to do, how we got to get this done and that done and complete this thing, when in reality, the first thing we have to do is only the next thing in front of us. One of the best quotes I think applies to exactly what I'm talking about is the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. That first step. If you're sitting there and you're overthinking and it feels overwhelming and now you don't know where to begin, it could be because you're thinking about mile 1,000 when you should be thinking about step 1. When you take one step, then you can think about that next step. If you only at step 1, why in the hell would you be worried about mile 300 or mile 159 when you're on step 2? And why would we do this to ourselves, to put that pressure on ourselves? This actually holds us back from taking action and we end up doing nothing. Imagine if you went to this expensive ass restaurant and you ordered something pricey off the menu, let's say a steak, an expensive ribeye. And you get the steak and they bring it out to you and it looks good. Then you put your fork down, grab the steak with your bare hands and shove the whole thing in your mouth all at once. Would you ever do that? Everybody at the table would be like, what the hell is wrong with you? And that's exactly what people think they need to do in order to get success. You don't need to feel anxiety of eating a big ass steak all at once because that ain't how you're supposed to do it. You take small bites at a time. That's how you have to live your life. One bite at a time. Don't try and shove the whole steak in your face. How many bites will it take? More than likely, we don't know the answer to that. But it can't get eaten all at once. So if you're getting anxiety about eating your food, if you're not getting anxiety about eating your food, eating a meal, then why do this with your goals? And I don't know the answer to that, but we do this. Could be because we've eaten way more meals over time than the amount of times we go after goals. So eating is just a natural thing that we don't have to do or think about doing all at once. Probably, maybe, I don't know. But there's no difference. Very similar. There's two things we do when we go after a goal and we get caught up with not taking action. We, one, tend to make it bigger than it actually is. We make it out to be so big. We make it out to be this mountain we have to climb. We think it's going to be harder than what it actually is, when in reality, if we just work at it and chip away at it and do all the steps, eventually it will get done. And the second thing we do, because we've never done it before, we tend to look into the past and at past failures or negative outcomes, and we get to that feeling of, damn, I don't know if I can actually do this. And once you get that feeling, you better believe it's going to hold you back. So we, one, make things bigger than they really are. And two, we've never done it before, so we already think we can't do it. So let me give you a quick example of living life in your headlights. So I live in St. Paul. Let's say I want to go on a road trip to the Grand Canyon. And that's definitely a long ass drive from here. And when I got in my car, I'm not going to see the Grand Canyon from my car, right? I just Googled how far it is from me, and it says it's 1,575 miles and about 24 hours away. So no, I can't see it from here. And if you were about to go on the same trip, you wouldn't get in your car and get anxious because you can't see the destination. No, you would turn on your GPS, turn on our headlights, and see where the next 100 yards in front of us that we can see in our headlights, and we drive. We drive those 100 yards. What happens next? You keep driving. You see the next 100 yards, the next 100 yards, and the next. And that's exactly what it's going to be like going after your goals. We can't see what mile 572 is going to look like from where you are. All you can see is what's in your headlights. That's it. And we should approach our goals the same way, only focusing on what's right in front of us, the things we can see, the things we can control today, not next month, not the things we have to complete after we do the next 7 steps. No, this step. That complete trip ain't the most important thing. The most important thing is that you get moving, that you start heading in the right direction, that you use that GPS, take it turn by turn, mile by mile, highway by highway, and eventually you are going to arrive at your destination. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode, and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's DARIUSDOTCH@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. So instead of focusing on the second step or the fifth step, focus on that first one. What do you need to get done today to get you closer to your goal? That's it. Like for me, I literally just did this today. I'm planning and trying to schedule some music videos, and I was just thinking of all the steps to take and how many people I have to get availability from, which is only 4, maybe 6 people. But still, trying to get people's schedules together is hard. And I'm thinking about trying to schedule a photo shoot for cover art and the timing of when I want the official announcement of the song to be, and promoting it and making visuals, and how much more work I need to do on the actual track itself to get it sounding as professional and as possible as I can, because I'm mixing it myself. And I noticed myself getting caught up in all the things I need to do, and I had to check myself and say, all right, Dotch, what do you need to do next? What's the first thing you got to do? So I did that. I reached out to my guy who shoots the videos, as well as the person who has the location I want to use, because I can't get a video without getting that figured out first. No video without those two. Not my idea that I want to execute. And so that's what I did. The first step. And if you find yourself in this position, you have to do what's important next. You have to have that ready, fire, aim mentality. Ready, fire, aim. One of the most important things that will make you successful is when you find yourself overthinking, you got to say, fuck it, and just take action. Just fire. You're already ready because you know what you want to do. So just fire and aim afterwards. You fire, take the action, and recalibrate what you need to recalibrate, and fire again. That's it. Take action. You can't focus too much time into the future. Too many people sit and plan, and then we plan on planning. Then we While we're planning, we plan more stuff instead of just jumping in the damn pool. Which is better, easing into the pool or just jumping in? You're afraid it's going to be cold? Well, it's going to feel cold for a long time if you ease all the way in instead of just jumping and getting it over with, right? So jump already. Because a lot of times you end up not taking action at all. You ready to start working out? Well, don't say, you know what? I should go buy some gym clothes. And also, I need some gym shoes. Oh, yeah. Let me look up the right diet I should be on. Oh, and let me figure out which gym I want to join because that's important. And what happens is people do all this research and planning instead of just getting up and going to the gym, instead of going for a run, instead of doing some push-ups, instead of doing some jumping jacks. And all that planning ain't productive. That's not being productive. That's just being busy. Don't get caught up thinking that your busy work is productive. Planning and brainstorming and prepping, yeah, it's important, but it actually ain't moving you closer to your goals. If you haven't taken any actionable items that's going to move that needle forward, then you're just being busy. You can plan for a whole year straight and never actually get anything done any closer to achieving that goal. What is it that you can do today that's going to get you closer? If you ain't taking at least one needle moving action per day, you're tricking yourself into thinking you're being productive. So what is it that you've been putting off that you need to do? What is it you've been planning and are getting ready to do? What is that thing you're waiting for the right moment to do? One of the most common traits with successful people is they just go. They just take the action and understand that they're going to mess up. They're going to make mistakes along the way, and that's fine. You're supposed to make mistakes. Are you not taking action items because you're afraid to make mistakes? Let me ask you a question. Who are you to never make a mistake? Who are you? For real, though. Everybody makes mistakes. Who are you to think that you can't make one? Because that just ain't realistic. A lot of times you can't figure out what you're supposed to do until you figure out what you're not supposed to do. You have to understand that you ain't going to be able to see the path all the way from your house to the Grand Canyon. You won't be able to see that far. But what you can see your GPS, which is your daily plan, which is the things you need to check off every day to get you closer to your goal. What you can see is what's in your headlights. And that's what you focus on. Will there be detours? Yes. Will there be roadblocks? Yes. Will you have to pull over because you ran out of gas? Hell yeah. You can't get there on one tank. Sometimes you run out of gas, but you pull over, you get that rest you need, and you get back on the road. And you turn on your GPS and focus on what's in your headlights. Another thing you don't do is look back at your past mistakes, at your past failures, and use that as validation of why this won't work or why this is too hard. Because you can't drive forward looking in the rearview mirror. And there's a reason why the rearview mirror is always smaller than the windshield. You ain't meant to drive forward looking back there. So moving forward, let's get it. Whatever that thing that you've been procrastinating on, you've been waiting for the right moment, you've been planning and planning and planning, take action today. The longer you don't take action, the longer it's going to take you to arrive. So set your GPS, turn them headlights on, and start moving. Let's go. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.